Hello, beautiful ones. It's Zion here. And this message goes especially for the women watching. Have you ever felt as if it was really hard to slow down? You felt as if you had to do more and achieve and produce and try harder. Have you ever felt as if it was even hard to just relax and anxiety came up and you thought about all the things you have to do and you got caught in all this stress? Let's talk about patriarchal deconditioning today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Zion. I'm a womb guide, feminine embodiment facilitator, and emotional healing facilitator. And if there's one thing that I've noticed in my years of experience working with women in the womb healing is that our level of stress is the key component for most of the issues that we have. Hi, Anna. Thank you so much for letting me know. This patriarchal structure that we live in, this capitalistic structure that we live in, is made from men for men. It's not made for women. It doesn't consider our needs. It doesn't consider our biology or our cycles. It doesn't even consider our gifts. And we've learned to live at this pace of always needing to do more, produce more, try harder, push, right? And it's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting and frustrating. And let me know in the comments if this is resonating with you, if you felt this way, if you notice the tension in your body, if you notice the disconnection, the dissociation, and the desire to just let go. Because I truly believe that there comes a point for every woman in which we have to make a conscious choice to either continue living this way or making a change. And a lot of times, because we don't listen to this need to live in a more feminine way that honors our needs, our bodies force us to stop. Our bodies force us to slow down. And no wonder why so many women have issues in their womb. Because the womb being that space that's holding our feminine energy is being dishonored. There's a disconnection from our feminine energy. And the womb is a wise ally. She always pulls us into self-love. She's always calling us back home to listening to our deepest, most powerful truths. And so she is a powerful initiator. And I know how painful it is to struggle with your period, because I have for many years, but not anymore. And I know how difficult it is to deal with issues in your womb, to feel exhausted, to have anxiety, to have depression, to have chronic fatigue. All of these things I've been diagnosed with. And there is a pretty valid reason for that. There's a valid reason for why so many of us feel the way that we do. And that is because we've internalized this way of living. We've become so used to it that even when we slow down, we still have these thoughts coming up. We still have this anxiety come up. We still have the guilt come up. We still have the doubt. The feeling that we can only get what we want if we try harder. The feeling that we're only worthy and good enough if we're producing. And that's not true. And the fact that these things come up is a very good thing. It's a very good thing because it's an opportunity to revise, it's an opportunity to release them. To release these thoughts, to release this way of being and moving in the world. And it's something that we need to do for ourselves. And something so beautiful is that there is this part of our being as women. Our intuition is always asking of this slowing down, nurturing, softening, listening. And there's this deep longing, right? To let go, to soften, to drop the load, to be in nature, to live slowly, to do things that are good for us, that connect us with our sensuality. And when I say sensuality, I don't just mean our sexual sensuality. I'm talking about our senses, right? Our bodies. Because our feminine nature knows, and that's why she's calling us. It's like an intuitive feeling, an intuitive knowing that we have. And when we burn out and we're exhausted with life and with this way of living and thinking, we realize how much we've been needing that a lot of the times. That definitely happened to me. And that's one of the reasons I created my upcoming masterclass, which I'm going to talk more about at the end, but stay tuned. It's called Return to Softness. And we're going to dive a lot deeper into that in my class. Because we can't expect from ourselves as women to live in health if we keep going at this pace, if we keep conforming to this structure that was never made for us in the first place. It's just not realistic and it's not fair. And we really need to be compassionate and kind to ourselves in this process because, yeah, sometimes it's gonna be uncomfortable to reconsider these things, to have these feelings come up, to feel as if our self-worth is tied to our level of productivity and how far we are in our accomplishments in life, whatever that means. It's painful to live in that way. And when I talk about health, yes, physical health, but also mental health and emotional health. Like, these are important parts of our well-being. We're not just machines, you know. The way that we feel is important. The way that we feel about ourselves is important. The way that we feel about the world and life is important. And we get to live in a way that feels nourishing. That is a possibility, and that is a paradigm shift that we need. And feminine empowerment for me is nothing to do with being able to live and produce and work in the world the same way a man does. Because we're not men. We don't have the same energy levels. We don't have the same biology. We don't have the same needs. We don't have the same gifts. We are not the same. And we can still have the same rights as men, right? And understand that we don't have to live that way. And honestly, I don't even think that our current structures in the world, at least in the Western world, I don't even think that they're made for men either. That's another conversation. But I don't really feel like we're here to work and not live. Anyway, again, another conversation. But especially not women. We're not here to struggle. We're not here to be stressed. Our bodies are not made for that. And our souls are craving something different. And I've seen the power of slowing down in a deep level while working with women, and how important that's been in their healing from things that they didn't even know they could heal, things that they struggled with for years, as I mentioned earlier, as it was my case, for example, with menstrual pain. And sometimes it comes with a lot of layers, you know, with different traumas and conditioning and emotions that we haven't expressed. But a lot of times it would surprise you how many. It's just about slowing down the issues in our wombs, in our relationships, in the way that we feel about ourselves, in our empowerment or disempowerment. And not only have I been affected just as any other woman by this way of living in a in high stress and high productivity and doing thinking always outwards. I'm also a highly sensitive woman, and I've experienced a ton of trauma in my life. So there was a lot of fear and stress in my body. And my process of letting that go and feeling safe in my body has been wild. I've tried lots of therapies, lots of modalities. I've done lots of things. And trauma healing was really important for me. That's also when I became a trauma healing facilitator. But I felt the deepest transformation in myself when I found feminine embodiment and womb work. And that's why I talk about it all the time, because it helps you access all of your deepest wiring, your programming on a physical level, on a subconscious somatic level, so powerfully. You can't get there through the mind. We are body before we are mind. We perceive the world through our senses before we have an understanding of what's happening. And so going into the body is working with the most primal, most innocent, and most subconscious parts of your being. It's so powerful. And just today I was having a conversation with my friend about this whole topic, and I remembered when I started to do this work. Now I'm so used to this feeling of being safe and grounded in my body that I've taken it for granted. But for the longest time, I just had so much anxiety in my body. I was on high alert. I was, I had a lot of stress in my body. And I remember when I started to feel like the way I walked was different. It feels different. I started to feel this really juicy, rich heaviness in my body. Not heavy as in a dense heaviness, but this heaviness of like being in my body, like inhabiting my body and feeling my footsteps on the floor or the ground or the earth wherever I walk. Like I feel my connection from my feet to the earth in such a deep way. My senses have heightened in such a powerful way. My sensuality is a whole new world. And when I talk about sensuality, again, it's just the way that I perceive through touch, through taste, through hearing, through sight, through everything, right? It's like I've been able to feel deeper because I am safer in my body. I've been able to shift from fear to safety, from tension to softness, on such a deep subconscious level that I don't have to constantly do embodiment practices or grounding practices or anything like that. If I do that, it's only to maintain my well-being and to keep going into deeper and deeper layers, because there's so much in the body that we don't know. There's so much medicine and so much magic that I don't have to fight against this feeling, because I feel so secure in my body now. And just so connected to my softness and my feminine energy. And that is one of my biggest accomplishments. I never knew that I could feel this safe, especially not after everything I went through, all the violence, all the abuse, all the trauma. And that was also reflected in my womb health. And I struggled a lot. And I got into abusive relationships because I don't have a clear sense of my boundaries. But now I do. And that's because I'm connected to my body and I'm connected to my womb. And that's why this process of like deeply landing in our bodies again and remembering safety on a body-based level is so important for women. And also another thing that I wanted to say is that whatever we can do to take time for ourselves, to nourish ourselves, to slow down, is a win, is good. Any little thing you can do is going to help if you're not resonating with this. And it's not just about finding 1 hour per day or 1 hour per week to take care of ourselves and slow down. It's about creating a lifestyle that actually works for us, not a lifestyle we have to constantly recover from. We're not here to struggle. We're not here to be stressed. We're not here to be tense. We are here to create through pleasure. We're here to create through ease. And feminine power is very different to masculine empowerment. Very different. And we're gonna go a lot deeper into this in my upcoming masterclass, Return to Softness. It's happening on May 8th. So if this is something that's calling to you, if you feel ready to really slow down and really feel that soft landing in your body, comment soft below and I will send you a link to sign up. There's going to be a replay, so no worries if you can't make it live. Currently, the access to this masterclass is free, but in the future, it's going to be a paid offer. Not only we're going to have a very deep, powerful conversation about all of this, but we're also going to do an embodiment practice. So you are actually going to start feeling this in your body right away. This deconditioning, letting go of all the stress, and beginning to tap into the beautiful wisdom that lives in your body that's waiting for you. So I'm so excited. I can't wait. Let me know how this conversation resonates with you. I know it can bring up a lot of things, right? A lot of different thoughts, and I want to hear from you. So thank you for being here with me today. And I hope to see you in Return to Softness. If not, I'll see you another time. Bye-bye.